Hey everyone, this is a video guide about speedrunning Bastion Remnants in Minecraft Java Edition 1.16.1. I'm going to do one of these videos for each of the 4 different Bastion types. This first one's Treasure Room, which is now my second favorite Bastion to run. I've been speedrunning pretty much exclusively Bastion Remnant strategies for about 4 to 5 months now. Learned a lot about them, I've gotten a lot better at them, and I'm pretty excited that Bastions are being a little more common now in speedruns, especially with tournaments and things. So each one of these videos is going to be split into 4 sections. First one is just an example speedrun of me running each Bastion in about 2 minutes. And then I'm going to go over structure, routing, and then some tips and tricks that I've learned. So yeah, Treasure is my second favorite Bastion now to run. It takes a lot of practice because the best way to do it is to kind of dig into these walls. But it's pretty reliable, has some great chests, a lot of gold blocks in the walls here, and overall pretty reliable. So what I'm looking for at each one of these runs is 1 to 2 stacks of ender pearls, at least 10 obsidian for nether travel, at least a potion of fire res or 2 to make purling around easier and the blaze fight easier, and then some string for beds, bow and arrow, stuff like that. Yeah, so after you leave every bastion, you're probably going to be purling around to find fortress after this. So I got the obsidian, about a stack and a half of pearls, fire res potions, decent amount of string. So yeah, that was the run. We'll get into structure of Treasure Room. So Treasure Room Bastion spawns pretty much the same way every single time, which is nice. It's split into 3 different sections. On this section is the actual Treasure Room itself. It's kind of got this jungle, messy structure all the way down into the actual treasure room on the bottom. There's a bunch of gold blocks here. There's a lot going on. There's a magma cube spawner, and there's 1 to 2 chests in here. Usually these chests have like good late game items, but sometimes you'll find kind of nothing in here, so that's why I kind of advise not going into this section. It's kind of really difficult to move around. There's not too many piglins in one spot to trade with, but you can find single chests and gold blocks strewn about the sides here. Out this way, there's always this connecting bridge at the same spot every time. It always has these 2 gold blocks, and on this side there are always 2 ramparts that are actually identical to each other that go up fairly high. Indicators to tell that you are looking at a treasure room bastion. This top structure, this top flat area with these little holes in it, this pattern, only appears in a Treasure Room Bastion. These lava pools and this tiny bridge with 2 gold blocks only appears in Treasure Room. And these 2 ramparts look kind of similar to other things, but on the back side, you can actually see the gold blocks a lot of the time. This is indicative of Treasure Room. You only see this in Treasure Bastion. So going from the connecting bridge over to the ramparts is the section we care about. You'll see 2 paths that lead down here. There's absolutely nothing down here. It's just kind of a mess of stairs. If you go up these stairs on each rampart, you will find a chest room first. There are 2 chests right here. There's actually a gold block to the right above these stairs, which I dig into the wall to get. But this is the chest room in this gold block. Above is really the gold room here. There are 5 different positions that gold blocks can spawn, and it's about 50-50 whether they spawn or not. This one happens to be pretty good, but there can be 2 that spawn up here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 in the upper left, and then 1 way in the bottom left. So there are 5 different positions. This one's pretty decent. And yeah, the 2 ramparts are pretty much identical. They're just 2 blocks offset from each other. So here I've dug through the wall right here. There's a little path. This rampart, there's a chest here, just like there's chests in this one. And if you go up, you get the same exact gold room. This one, I believe, spawns every gold block that can possibly spawn in here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 down here. So just to show you, oh, and this one gold block also spawns above this chest. I forgot to put. So just to show you how consistent this is, I'll go into a couple other different treasure room bastions, and just show you like the kind of odds of the gold blocks. But again, at the top right, we see 2 single chests. The gold room up here, no gold spawns there. There's 1 there, 1 there, and nothing there. So this one's pretty empty. You can go over the top to get to the other gold room. 1 there, 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 and 1 there. So they're approximately 50-50. And then again, if we want to check these positions for gold blocks, we can move to the other side and make sure that the gold blocks are also there. These gold blocks above to the right of the chest room are 100%. Those actually spawn 100% of the time. But the ones up top in these 5 different positions, I believe, are about 50-50. So you end up getting a pretty consistent amount of gold in treasure room. But sometimes you can get really low numbers if you're just really unlucky. So yeah, just going through the last ones here. Just double check that these chests are the same. Sometimes you'll see missing blocks randomly, but treasure room is really nice because it's very consistent every time. So yeah, we'll move on to routing. So the first thing I like to work on with efficiently routing any bastion to run as quickly as possible is where are the most gold blocks I can safely mine and where are the most piglins. In this case, it's pretty obviously right here the most piglins, and there's gold blocks immediately next to them. They love standing on this block for some reason. They just absolutely love it. So you usually get 4 to 5 piglins over here, and on the other side you see about the same thing. This one's convenient to run pretty quickly because there's already terrain that's leading up to it. But the vast majority of the time, you're going to want to start here because most terrain actually leads you to this position or lower. Also, if you want to be safer and do maybe a 3 or 4 minute bastion, then you'll want to mine these gold blocks just to be absolutely sure you get all your obsidian metal trades first. So I usually start in this spot. I'll do 1 line of 4 blocks here to block off any piglins from this whole section. They shouldn't be able to get to you from anywhere now. I then go ahead and mine these 2 gold blocks. Every once in a while there will be 1 or 2 piglins. About this is the range that if they see you, they'll get upset. So that's when I take out my lava bucket if I see any piglins here, and you just gotta lava bucket them a few times. They don't consider that as player damage, so it will kill them and they won't aggro on you. So you don't want to mine these 2 gold blocks and then have piglins aggroing on you when you're trying to run up these stairs. It'll get a little bit messy and confusing. So after getting those 2 gold blocks, I usually come up here. And again, you want to get these gold blocks mined and bartering as soon as possible. That's the limiting factor in this timing, is you got to get to these gold blocks. They just love, piglins love standing on this block for some reason. So if you mine those 2 golds, I would probably put some gold right here first. They'll come down, and then you can do this little jump right here without. Okay. But piglins actually can't do a 1 block diagonal jump like this. So when you're mining gold up here, they actually can't get to you unless there's some weird terrain that allows them to get above you. So you're actually just safe to mine gold here, and they'll just stare at you. So that's when you do your classic mining gold blocks. I like to mine these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possible gold spots first, throw my gold down here, and then move over to the other side. Later, we'll do the dig down 8 blocks, get this gold. We'll dig over a few blocks, get that gold way down there, and get the chest. But the fastest way to do bastions, get as much gold trading as quickly as possible. So that's when we come over this side. These piglins also love standing here. We'll do the same thing. And we'll get these 5 gold blocks traded as soon as we can. Now that we're already over here, we might as well dig down and get the 2 gold blocks in the chest. So once I've mined here, and this is at ground level, usually there's a block right here. You can count 8 straight down, that puts you on an appropriate level to mine for the chests. You could also do 4 and 4, which is what I like to count in my head. Usually 1, 2, 3, 4. That puts me next to a 50-50 gold block right here. And then I do 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're facing the chest room. The chest room is right in here. So we're going to mine to the side. And there should be some blocks below you, but there should be a gap above. We're 1 block away from these chests right here. So at any point we could just mine and start looting the chest right here. But I like to mine this gold block first, and then mine over here to get this chest. On this side, you can pretty much mine anywhere, 1 block, and get this chest. If you mine 2, a piglin can come and attack you, so I just mine 1 and open this chest. On the other side, it's a pretty similar idea, except the closest chest is a little bit harder to get. But that's pretty much it for the routing. We're going to come back here. These guys will have a bunch of trades. They'll probably be done. We're going to do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get the gold block here, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you come here. There should be a block gap above you. And here's the gold block. This shows up 100% of the time. Now there's a single chest right here below us, and a single chest far over there. So the far one is pretty easy. You can just kind of mine any block and reach it from here inside the wall. This lower one, you have to be a little picky. I think either of these two work, and you got to kind of pinpoint it with your cursor. But you can get this one, or you can just dig one down here. So yeah, then I come back up here, finish with all these guys. Sometimes if you get more gold blocks down there, the piglins will be aggroed towards you, and you can just chuck gold in this room, and they'll start trading down here. But yeah, you'll just want to come back here, collect all your stuff. Again, 2 stacks of pearls is good, 2 stacks of string is good. Make sure you have obsidian, potions of fire resistance. You'll collect all this stuff and then go on your way. So next, I'll get into just a couple tips and tricks for this bastion that I found. That's it. So I don't have too many tips and tricks for looting treasure room. It's a pretty straightforward one with pretty reliable gold blocks in spots every time. So a couple things I have found help me though is when you get to this point, before you start mining gold blocks, I like to do take a couple seconds and make sure the top is clear of piglins. Every once in a while, if there's like netherrack terrain that's up along here, piglins will spawn outside and then wander in the top section here. So the bastion does not normally have any piglin spawn blocks up here. They're only down below. So unless there's terrain, they won't be able to get up here. But if there is some weird netherrack connection up here, they can be up here. And if you start mining gold blocks over here, they'll attack you. So I like to do a quick check, make sure that there's no piglins or terrain or anything. If there is, you can always lava bucket them. It's fairly fast. If not, you could always do this as well. Just put 2 blocks in these positions, and that'll block you off temporarily from above. And then you just mine them when you're ready to go. So both of those ways are pretty quick ways of dealing with it. And I do the same thing over here. I just take a look around, make sure there's up here first. Next thing is the gold trading position. Sometimes there will be netherrack that's kind of blocking off this air over here, which helps, and that means you can put the gold anywhere. If it's open like this though, if you're trading too far away down these stairs, piglins, if you're too far away like over there, the piglins will throw items off the edge, and they'll also just wander down the stairways to the chest room and not be trading. So I found the best spots to trade ingots are either in this little gap or up here. Trading in a little gap like this, either 4 or 5 piglins can fit in here, and they have a less likely chance of kind of wandering away. And this piglin kind of acts to block them as well. And if one of them wanders away, he'll take their spot. And so it's pretty efficient, 4 or 5 piglins trading at the same time. If you're sure you're not going to hit them, then you can mine these 2 spots as well. And try to trade in this gap. This is also a pretty good spot to do. Most of your items will be very, very close together, so you won't wander very far to see your items. So yeah, that's my my preferred trading spot is right there. One more thing about this bastion: a lot of the times you won't finish your trades just by mining the gold blocks at the top. You'll have to loot down at the bottom, And so I think the most efficient way to get in between the ramp cards is just this little pathway right here, these 4 blocks. So it's just 3 in. You just mine these 4 blocks. This spot is close to the chests on both sides. It's close to this trading spot, and it's close to this trading spot. So I almost always mine right here. Do this. So yeah, that's treasure room. Pretty simple one. I do want to say one last thing. When I'm doing these 2-minute runs, you know, I'm kind of picking like the best possible bastion layout. So I'd say 1 out of every 4 bastions is going to be doable in 2 minutes. The rest of them are going to take much longer, maybe 3 to 4, and maybe 1 out of 4 of them isn't runnable at all. Sadly, bastions are just not designed super well, and there could be a lot of issues with them. Here's an example of a world where if a bastion generates too close to a basalt deltas, the basalt can start overriding some of the bastions. The terrain can get really messy, lava can rain down from the ceiling, gold blocks can be missing and overridden by other things. So don't get discouraged if you see a bastion that isn't doable in 2 minutes. Some of them just aren't very runnable or aren't very competitive, but if you get a good one, I think it's really valuable to you. So yeah, good luck looting treasure bastion.